In 2022, the median time between initial access and secondary thread handoff was 8 hours. At RSA Conference 26, Google's Mandiant team put the new number on stage, 22 seconds. Some breakouts now happen in 27 seconds flat. That single statistic explains everything that got announced in San Francisco this year. This is Tech Updates, let's get into it. RSA Conference 2026 ran from March 23rd to 26th at Moscone. 44,000 attendees, 600 exhibitors, 570 plus sessions, and the theme was the power of community. But the actual theme on the show floor was Agentic AI, not a buzzword, as an attack surface and a control plane problem. Cisco's Jiru Patel framed it on the main stage with a line worth repeating. With chatbots, you worry about getting the wrong answer. With agents, you worry about taking the wrong action. That's the whole shift. We're moving from LLMs that talk to LLMs that do. They call tools, they hit APIs, they move money, they touch production, and every one of them is non-human identity with credentials, a blast radius, and zero intuition. The Innovation Sandbox winner reinforced this. Geordi AI with most innovative startup for an AI governance platform that gives continuous behavioral understanding of agentic AI. The top 10 finalists each walked away with a $5 million investment commitment. The money is clearly following agent observability and agent governance. And on the offensive side, Mandiant's Entrance 2026 report confirmed what Talos and others have been whispering about. Adversaries have moved from experimental AI use. They're now deploying autonomous agents that rewrite their own code in real time. High pros disclosure of operation all Alampo and Rust-based chart vector was. To quote one analyst, the sharpest signal that AI-assisted malware development by state-sponsored actors is no longer theoretical. Let's talk concrete announcements. I'll group them by what problem they are actually trying to solve. This was the largest category by volume, the agent identity and runtime control. Cisco announced Defense Glow, an open-source secure agent framework, and extended zero trust access to AI agents through dual IAM, so you can assign time-bound, task-specific permissions to an agent the same way you would a contractor. Microsoft shipped the new identity features in the Entra ID to track and control agent behavior, plus guardrails previews in Microsoft Foundry. Teleport launch beams. Each agent runs in an isolated Firecracker micro VM with its own identity connected to infrastructure without secrets. Full audit trail per agent. 1Password launch unified access for credential and machine identity control, with Anthropic, Cursor, GitHub, Perplexity, and Vercel as launch partners. Asterisk Security expanded to cover shadow agent deployments on managed devices. Agentic SOC and the death of the SIEM. Databricks CEO Ali Goldsey told CNBC on the show floor, quote, AI will kill the SIEM in 2026. Bold claim. The product behind it, Lakewatch, an agentic SIEM powered by Claude, targeted squarely at SOC infrastructure. Databricks also extend its AI security framework with 35 new technical risks and mitigation controls specifically for agent memory and planning, which tells you where they think the real attack surface lives. Google Cloud rolled out a new agentic automation in Google security operations, including a triage and investigation agent that autonomously gathers evidence and returns verdict with explanations. Accenture and Anthropic launched Cyber AI Cloud as a reasoning engine for SOC workflow automation with a library of autonomous agents across the security lifecycle. CrowdStrike unveiled Charlotte AI AgentWorks, a no-code platform and ecosystem for building custom security agents on Falcon. Launch partners include AWS, Anthropic, NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Salesforce. SentinelOne announced Prompt AI agent security, a real-time governance control plane for unauthorized agentic actions. AI-generated code security. This one matters for anyone shipping code with Copilot or Cursor. Secure Code Warriors Trust Agent AI gives commit level visibility into which LLM influenced which commit, correlates that with the vulnerability exposure, and tracks active MCP servers to stop agents from reaching unvetted tools. Black.Duck Signal is an agentic AppSec product purpose-built for autonomous development workflows. Post-quantum quietly, overshadowed by AI but moving fast because NSA CNSA 2.0 deadlines are real. Zero Tier launched its quantum platform with hybrid PQC built into the transport protocol. Architecturally, one of the most interesting moves at the show. Palo Alto Networks added next-generation trust security to automate certificate lifecycle and PQC readiness. PQC-EE shipped a crypto agile CNG provider for Windows, letting you swap in post-quantum algorithms at the OS crypto layer. Sandbox AQ expanded Acutive Guard for enterprise PQC migration in regulated industries. Palo Alto's full stack, worth calling out separately, Prisma AIRS 3.0 to secure the full agentic AI lifecycle. Agentic SASE enhancements to Prisma SASE and Prisma Browser for Business. They are going wide. The Cryptographers Panel and what's underneath. The 25th anniversary Cryptographers Panel had a quote from the moderator Paul Kocher. That's worth sitting with. The cryptographic algorithms have really held up over the last 25 years, and you can say that about a lot of areas within cybersecurity. Think about that. The math is holding, the implementations are holding. What's not holding is everything we bottle on top. Identity, access control, the perimeter model, human speed, SOC operations. The industry is not having a cryptographic crisis, it's having an architecture for autonomous actors crisis. That's why the Jericho's Forum and Beyond Corp concepts keep coming back at the RSA conference. Zero Trust is 15 plus years old as a concept, and most enterprises still have not implemented it for human users, let alone for agents. Cisco even ran a panel called Despite Years of Enthusiasm since the Jericho Forum and Google's Beyond Corp, many still struggle to implement Zero Trust. That is an honest subtitle. What is actually coming? Here's what I would tell any CISO or senior engineer to pay attention to over the next 12 months, based on what I saw and read from the show. 1. Non-human identity becomes the primary identity problem. If you're still treating service accounts, API keys, and agents as an afterthought to human IAM, you have maybe 6 months before this becomes an audit finding. Look at 1Password Unified Access, Asterisk, and how Entra and Okta are extending agent governance. 2. MCP is now part of the attack surface. The Model Context Protocol is how agents get tools. Stitch, now Twilio owned, and Greylog shipped MCP-specific monitoring at RSA conference. If your org is building agents, you need an MCP gateway strategy. Full stop. Treat MCPs like you treat API gateways, inventoried, authenticated, logged, and rate limited. The SOC gets automated or gets outrun. 22 seconds handoff times are not something a tier 1 analyst can chase. Agentic triage is no longer optional. It's the only way to get mean time to respond below the attacker's mean time to pivot. Watch Google SecOps, Lakewatch, and CrowdStrike Charlotte. 4. Prompt injection is the new SQL injection. Veeam's Reha Jalil put it bluntly at the RSA conference. Every day there's news of agents doing something funky with enterprise data. OWASP has the LLM top 10, but the real engineering question is, where in your architecture do you do content level inspection on agent inputs and outputs? Bonfi ACS 2.0, Rubrik Sage, and Sanity all took a crack at this. 5. Post-quantum is closer than you think. CNSA 2.0 timelines mean that anything you procure now with a 5+ year hardware life cycle needs a PQC story. This is not a 2030 problem anymore. Start inventorying. 6. Active defenses and deception are coming back. A Calvius 360 deception is explicitly designed to break AI-driven attack automation. When attackers automate reconnaissance with agents, deception scales disproportionately well against them. Accept more of this. Now to close, the honest takeaway from RSA Conference 2026. The industry has finally stopped pretending agentic AI is a future problem. Every major vendor ships something real. Some of it will stop ship as vaporware, some of it will be absorbed by acquisition before it matures, but the category is here. The uncomfortable line from Illumnium's Carl van den Berg is the one I keep coming back to. We're spending more on cybersecurity than ever before, but the breaches keep happening. Something is fundamentally broken about how we have approached this problem. If 22 seconds is the new handoff time and agents are now both the most productive workers and the most dangerous insider in your environment, then the next 12 months are about one question. Can you operate your security program at machine speed without losing human accountability? If you can, the agentic era is an advantage. If you can't, it's an extinction event. That's the episode. This has been Tech Updates. Go break something in a lab today so you don't have to explain it in production next week.